Hi, Ruby.
Hi.
Today we're going to try a strategy called talking drawings. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so you're going to get to do some drawing and some writing for me today, okay?
Yes.
All right, so if you could, let's start by just dividing the screen into 3 sections. So
Okay.
3 different, just draw a line down right. 1, 2. Okay, so in the first rectangle, let's draw a picture of an igloo. Whatever comes to mind when you think of an igloo. Think of books you've read or movies you've seen, or I don't know if you've ever seen an igloo in real life, but great. Anything you want to add to that?
Oh, polar bear there?
Okay, polar bear. All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do now is share with you a book on igloos. It's actually a book called Building an Igloo. And so put the pen down. You'll have another chance to draw a picture after we look through the book together, okay? Can you see the book? Okay. All right, so it's actually a book that has photographs in it. Can you see it from here? Okay. So I really like it because it has photographs, and I like the way they document things, the truth. So this is a picture of someone actually building an igloo. And the main character, it's a nonfiction book, so it's a real, true life text. And this is the main character, his name is Tukilki. And here he is walking off in the snow, and he uses a proper saw, like a regular saw you would use in your home to carve out the bricks.
It looks like an umbrella.
It does, kind of. And so here you can see him outlining the blocks in the snow, and then cutting them out, and then stacking them up. Look how big they are.
I always thought they were ice.
It's a little different, right? Here he cuts the snow diagonally so that he can start to create a spiral. See how he's stacking them up? In this picture, we can see him building them all through the spiral, and he's on the inside stacking them through.
Cool.
And here he has a helper, and they're continuing to add each block. If you look closely, you can see their handprints. So you can tell it's not solid ice, that it's actually snow, because it can cave in a little bit. And here they continue the spiral. He's on the inside.
How does it, if it's leaning in, how does it stand up?
Well, it doesn't really explain how that happens. Maybe that's a physics lesson. But he stacks them up on a spiral and then gently fills it all in with snow. So maybe the snow packs it in tight. They're very careful the way they place it. You can see he uses like a regular kitchen knife here to cut them. And continuing it up in a spiral until finally the last one is put in place. That's called a keystone. And then he's inside. So in order to get out, he carves a little doorway for himself and comes out that way. Reminds me of the doorway in yours. But now they've filled it all in with snow, packed it in tight so there's no place for the cold wind to get through. And he decides that he wants to build a chimney. So he crawls up to the top, uses his knife, cuts it out, and then adds the chimney. The other thing he adds, which I didn't know about before, is a window. Here he does take a piece of ice from the sea and carves out a spot and adds the window to the top so that light can come in. Another thing I didn't know is he creates a porch, and the porch is there for storage. So they make a little anteroom, a little like a little lobby for the igloo where he could store his clothes and his boots, and it doesn't get in the way of his living area.
Do they actually live there?
They live there temporarily.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just like something that's there that like animals would live in, like polar bears.
No, they live in there to go fishing. So they create the igloos as a temporary
just like
home.
a little house.
Like a little house. Like, kind of like a tent, except it's so cold out there, a tent. But the little porch room doesn't need a chimney because they're not cooking or anything in there. And that's the way the final igloo looks.
Cool.
Yeah. So now after reading this book, I want to give you a chance to draw another igloo. Great, Ruby. So I see a lot of differences between your first picture and the second picture. Can you talk to me about why, or what are the ways that your pictures changed?
Well, right here there's a window, and there's no window here. And there's a polar bear here, but there's a person here. And there's a chimney here, and there's no chimney there. And there's no sun there, and there's a sun, and it goes into light. And then there's a porch, but it's like another little home. And there's none here.
Great. So in the third section, I'm going to invite you to write about the differences between your first picture and your second picture. You can just pick one or two things that stand out that you want to write about, since we don't have that much room.
How do you spell through?
You just give it your best shot. What do you hear at the beginning? Right. You didn't need my help. Okay, so let's start with just this one sentence. Could you read it to me?
The first picture doesn't have a window for the sun to shine through.
How did you know to add a window in your second picture?
Well, I read about the window in the book.
So that's something new that you learned. Okay, let's write about something else that you learned. Great, thank you. Can you read the second sentence for me?
I learned that they usually add a porch for storing things.
Great.
Is-
And so, go ahead.
Is this backwards?
No, we can see it the right way. Here,
Oh, that's cool.
I'll show you later. So those are two things that you learned. When we look at the difference between your first picture and your second picture, all of the things that you added are the things that you learned from reading the book. That's the way talking drawing works. So we'll stop there.
Cool.
Thank you.